Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's an absolute pleasure that I am joined by UFC Heavyweight Chris Barnett. Chris, massive pleasure for coming on the channel today. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. This is super fun times for me. So this is gonna be great.
Yeah, so last time out, we saw you at UFC 279, where you defeated Jake Collier by another spectacular TKO. There was a slight trouble in the fight. You did have to come from behind, but how does it feel to get that another viral knockout in front of a packed out crowd?
Man, I can tell you right now. I think that's one of the reasons they signed me, man. Like when you give me a chance to, like actually put in the camp and everything, I'm gonna have viral moments left and right. Hopefully always on the positive side. But yeah, man, like that's what I do. I try to go out there and put on for the fans. One reason why I didn't go for the submission during Jake Collier was because I know half the time people don't want to see big dudes out there hugging and rubbing on each other. You know what I mean? So even with my little soft baby punches I was giving them, I was like, I know they'd rather see me do this, than me just hold them, But nah, man, it's been cool, and then just what I feel as like me giving to the fans, them reciprocating it back is wild, man. So like making that walkout, I almost want to be in the crowd with them, like, yeah, let's like, you know what I mean? Let's go, So I don't consider it viral. I just consider it doing my job for what these fans want, like they want to show, are you not entertained,
Exactly.
But I honestly feel, man, like that's just gonna be me, man. I'm willing to lay it all out there, for these guys. Like I get it. Like a $90 nosebleed seat ain't cool unless I get to see something cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing
Exactly.
that to make sure people are actually getting their money's worth, getting getting the content of this, man. This is more than just two dudes fighting. You know what I mean? This is more than just violence.
Yeah.
It's martial arts. You know what I mean? That last word meaning art. You got to go out there and put it all on that canvas. I gotta make a pretty picture for my fans, man.
What's that feeling when you get the victory in front of the crowd? Is it like, what's that feeling like, getting the applause, the crazy screams from the crowd when you've got that viral knockout?
Shoot, man, I'll tell you what, it's wild. Like half the time, I'm not even gonna lie, like I go blank. Like a lot of the time, once I land the front flip, it's pretty much I'm gone. I couldn't now that I've heard it a couple of times, but I couldn't go back and tell you what I said. Like, you know what I mean? After the win, like I knew I was like, I love Jake. He's a great competitor and blank. You know what I mean? And then I get a great phone call from Dana and whatnot. Hey, I don't know where you practiced that promo for the UFC, but oh my God. I was like, dude, that wasn't no practice. I said, I don't know if I just got punched enough in my head to where I was like, yeah, UFC. But man, like it's overwhelming at first because you again, like I was saying, I would love to, I'm gonna end up getting fined one day because I'm gonna run into the crowd because like that energy, like you can't, I can't control it. I can't contain
I'm
it.
shocked the fighter's not been fined yet for that. I'm shocked the fighter's not
They
actually.
I think it's more or less like they talk a big game in those little fighter meetings. Don't jump on the cage. Don't jump over the cage. And meanwhile, you got like Chandler doing backflips off the cage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And then his heart in his mouth going, oh no.
Yeah, right.
He come out and said that. Oh yeah, do you like the backflips? No, I hate him. I hate him.
Right. I can tell you what. He said something. He goes, please don't get injured doing the front flip. I was like, Dana, the mat's soft. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? And I got more cushion for the
Johnny Walker. He did the worm and then he blew out his shoulder and then that was him done for a few months.
You're not supposed to be doing the worm then. You know what I mean? Like his body type, exactly. He's supposed to be doing like arm waves and that's it. The whole body, no, he's too tall for the worm. That's more like an extended centipede. That ain't no worm. Like you don't get out of here. Like, but yeah, no, man. Like, man, just yeah, that feeling once that judge or that ref gets you off and he raises your hand, it's like, oh man, like you know what I mean? What was that little Eminem? The moment you want it, you better never let it go. But yeah, dude, like it's honestly one of the best feelings, man. Like you know, not to say it like that, but everybody loves a winner, and the love that you get, the encore that you get at that moment, man, it's like, oh my God, you guys really like me. Oh, thank you so much. You know, but it's awesome, man. Like the energy that you get is just flat out awesome.
And where did the front flip celebration come from? Was that something that you planned, or was
I've just been doing it? If you go back and watch all my fights, again, just dumb energy. It's like, let's do a front flip. Why not? Let's go. Like, you know.
When I saw it, I thought, oh my goodness, what a flip! I was like, what? I was like, wow.
I'm terrified to land it one day because the way gravity's set up and the way my ankles are, it might not be a good thing if I actually land on my feet. So the butt is a lot better. There's more cushion for the pushing back there, and it's a wider landing base.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Did you see the memes after the first time you did it when you fought in front of the crowds?
Oh yeah, it was like perfect timing. Oh, I love them. There was like one that I think ESPN did for the Thanksgiving one. They're like, how I'm coming to the table. Bow, and like they had a whole turkey like flip off or whatever. But yeah, no, I've loved them. Like I've seen the ones where it was like I do the flip and you see a bomb go off and you see this little mushroom cloud follow. So yeah, no, I live for those. Like a lot of times I'll go on Instagram and like I'll scroll to the dark side of Instagram and find the memes that only have like 3 likes. And I'll find those and die laughing. It's like, you need to share this. You need to share this right now. You'll get more than 3 likes. Trust me. You know, the bad thing is they think like they'll make these memes and then kind of like hide. And it's like, no, dude, that is funny. What are we talking? Like, no, you don't have to feel. He's like, I thought you were going to be mad, man. I mean, it was funny to me. I didn't know.
Some fighters do get mad when people post out memes. It's like, don't do that. But some fighters are like, yeah, bring it.
Exactly. Like there are some. I'll get you. You stop it. Like that's what I've definitely learned about this internet. 1, I'm never gonna find you. 2, you know what I mean. It could be like some bot from Russia that sent it to Brazil that pinged off of Texas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not even worth getting mad. And then 3, there's always that delete and block button. You know what I mean? But I love it. Like. Haters or not, I thrive on all of it. Like, but I had to catch myself. I was showing more love to the haters, actually responding to them than the 50 emails of, "Hey Chris, man, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great." Yeah. And then there's that one, "You big fat turd." Oh yeah, I'll show you turd. And I got the typing, But I've let them go. I tell them thank you also, and just keep it moving.
Yeah, obviously in that Jake Collier fight, you did have to come from behind, and there was a moment at the end of the fight where I thought you did your orbital bone. We were speaking before that it looked a lot worse, but it was only just the cheek, just below the eye.
Because I thought, finally healed out, actually, right there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, no, just that, like, he caught like, dude. I went back. I finally watched the fight. I'll say, like, finally watched it full. I've seen enough highlights and whatever, but I finally watched it actually like a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
I got caught in the moment. I was like, "You got to get up, man! You got." I got excited again. I'm a fan of this. You know what I'm saying? So when he caught me, it kind of flashed like, "Oh, I do remember that now." Like I remember falling and then like being like, "Wait a minute. Am I on my butt?" Like, like time out. What just happened? I know I saw the first punch. Where'd that second one come from? But not to say whatever, but to the way he hit me, I was like, whoa, we can stand in the pocket and bang. And I wasn't worried about getting knocked out at all. So that's part of the reason that second round, I just came out and I was like, you know what, throw it. I mean, even if you go back and watch the first, like Jake dropped me a couple times, but every time he would get close, I would answer back. Like I would get off a good 1 or 2. I noticed, I was like, I did hit him in the first round. What these analysts talking about, man? I got off a couple punches. But yeah, man, like he caught me, and I think when it was maybe the knee or something that hit the side of my jaw, which made me bite down, and like a chunk, that whole chunk just said boop, and I was like, oh no. No, imagine a mushroom hanging on the side of your cheek. That's there we go. It was like a mushroom was just dangling on the side of my mouth, and I'm like, very good. Then here comes DC and them. Whoa, hey man, I think he had a stroke. He's out there. He's just, whoa, John. Hey, look at his face, man. He's. Oh God. And I'm like, you can hear DC say stroke, and I'm like, bro, really?
Yeah, come on. Yes, I was like, come on, DC. It's not that bad.
Right, exactly. I don't think I've ever seen somebody have a stroke and still be able to fight. I don't know. personally, like my pops had a stroke. That was it. Like he he wasn't fighting nobody but demons after that. That was it. That's the only people he was fighting, But yeah, man, like once I got that chunk out, after I was like, man, I need to save it to show these people there ain't no stroke, ain't no cerebral palsy, or whatever else they were saying. But like that might have been part of the reason round 2. I wasn't really worried about anything else, but getting that mushroom, meat mushroom I had out, because the gag reflexes, like I've choked on my mouthpiece before, like walking out, and I was like, oh God, Chris, we cannot do this on national TV. Oh, your mama gonna see this, you're gonna be up there. So yeah, once we got that under control, I was like, let's go. And then between that and the doctor coming in, that's the middle of the first round. That's the same doctor that wouldn't let me cut the 1.5 pounds. This doctor was like, I guarantee you a loss if I allow you to go cut this weight. And I'm like, dude, I'm sweating right now. Like the only reason I came over here to stop
right now.
Yeah, like I was like, what are we talking about? And this is, I'm like at the scale, and the doctor goes, nope, come here. Your resting heart rate's too high. I said, my resting heart rate is always high. You should see what happens when I tie my shoes wrong. It goes through the roof, like and so he's just looking at me like, no, man, look, I'm gonna let you fight, but no, you're not gonna be able to cut that weight. And I'm like, you just cost me. Well, not you, excuse me. I'll take personal responsibility. I just cost me 20% of my purse. You can't let me cut this real quick, and even Vegas commission, which is, a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about them. I rock with them all the way.
Commission to get through. Like,
yeah, they're one of the, yeah, exactly. So they were even like, 1.5 pounds, he's a heavyweight. What are we talking about here? Like, really? And the doctor was like, his favorite line, I've been doing this since the Gracies. And I said, oh shit, he's one of those. Here we go. I said, let's leave it alone. We're gonna leave it alone then. He's been doing it this long, I guess, And then so he comes in that middle round, like the middle of the first and second, and I was like,
pulling this off.
God, here we go. This dude's about to call the fight. I know it. He looked at me, and it had to be the joke that I told him in the cage, because I was like, yeah, I can see you, and I see my ugly coach behind you. And he was like, okay, Mr. Barnett, I'm gonna let this continue, but I swear that next round, I'm not gonna let this finish if you get hit in that again. And I was like, say less. Say less. Basically, what you're saying is I got to get done next 30 seconds. All right, I got you.
So, yeah, obviously, you picked up the win. How quickly are we looking to see you back in the octagon? Are we expecting to see you back end of this year, or are we most likely to see you early 2023? I
would love to somehow be able to sneak on that December card down in Orlando, because, like, Tampa is my stomping grounds. That's where I got my whole start in MMA and whatnot. But I doubt it. Like they've got a lot of heavyweights to feed now, so it's tough to demand a fight. Now, not to say in my position, like, let's just be honest. It's a popularity contest. Like, Sugar Shane just fought Peter Yan 13-1. He talked his way into that. We got guys that are literally running through divisions, not getting a chance to fight, the contender or the champion. And here, Sugar Chic, as we say this weekend, went in and beat Peter Yan, and now he's
that later actually about your views on that, because me and Callum, we did a watch long for it. Oh, and we were both umming and ahhing. I think Callum scored it for Sean. I had to dip out because I had to do something quickly, so I haven't rewatched the fight.
Oh,
and then I just saw the internet, like, fighters go robbed, and I was like, wow, is it really that bad?
Yeah.
So I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, again. It was, don't get me wrong, it was a dog fight. Like, we talking fight of the year type candidate, but Yan did enough in each round towards that end. You know what I mean? Like, they definitely, struck, did this, whatever. Yan put up the wrestling and everything. But yeah, no, go back and watch. I don't know if have you seen Khabib's reaction to it?
Yes.
Oh my God. He said, how? Like, how? This makes no sense. How? Where? When?
Like,
what? I was like, oh.
Yeah, because I was like, all the fight just put robbery. I saw a couple of people, but yeah, biggest robbery in MMA, and I was like, hold on a minute. there's been bigger robberies. Well, robberies.
There you go.
Allegedly. Yeah, alleged robberies. But there's been bigger ones than this. What did you think of the 280 card overall?
Man, I wasn't. I love UAE, man. I was like, when I fought out there, man, it's amazing, man. And like, you know, I've got a nice, decent little fan base out there from fighting out there, you know. So I would love to personally be on one of those cards, but I wish. Okay, so Aljamain was actually supposed to fight TJ in Atlanta on like they were supposed to be main event something. Again, that's where I'm from. I was like, yeah. Then he was like, nah, I'm gonna go to Abu Dhabi, and I was like, oh man, you know. But that would have been amazing. But no, like even Aljamain's fight, like actually me and Dillashaw working on now. I'm signed with one of his companies called Zooks. It's like a cannabis brand and whatnot. So of course I was like, let me cheer for TJ. But me and Al, dude, like after that New York fight, I met him up in New York, and we've just been cool since. You know what I mean? Nothing like I don't call him every day type thing. When we see each other, we dap each other up. Blah blah blah. What's good, man?
What did you think of that fight?
I see you, champ. You know what I mean? Type thing. You know. So that was a tough one. But then TJ got the running his mouth, and I was like, TJ, hush. No. He was like, Aljamain's in nothing but boring fights. And I was like, you better be quiet. Don't you make that Jamaican mad. He gonna bumper clod you real quick now, boy. You know, and literally, you know, that fight happened. And then Oliveira, man, I ain't never seen so many Slim Shady so sad before, dude. I was like, no.
I wanted him to win.
I wanted the real Slim Shady to win, man.
He said, if I win, I'm calling Khabib out to his face. I'm like, yes, give me that. And then
that would have been amazing. And he was there.
What would have happened? And it was like, oh, it's done in 2? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Didn't expect it to end that quickly. But back to the Aljamain Sterling Dillashaw fight. What did you thought of TJ's post-fight when he said, yeah, my shoulders popped 20 times during camp, and then the shoulder pops again, and people are going, fighters going, yeah, it's great heart. But I'm sitting there thinking, maybe he should have gone away to fix his shoulder rather than it popping out, because now people are going to look at Aljamain and go, oh, you won the belt because of an illegal knee. People think that Jan won the second fight. I don't believe that personally. And then you've got people going, well, Aljamain beat a one-arm Dillashaw.
I think, man, no matter what, like he wins clean, it's going to be Aljamain. Oh, the guy slipped on a banana before he walked in the ring. That's why, you know, so regardless of how he wins or who he beats, or whoever the champion is, like regardless, look at Izzy. Oh, Izzy gets the belt. Now he's a boring fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I don't like that narrative.
So it's no matter what, dude, like it's always gonna be right there, you know, and then those are gonna make the headlines, you know. No one likes the truth when the lie's more entertaining, you know. So it's true. It's a simple game, you know. But again, I can't sit here and say smart decision or dumb decision, because I've been put in that position to where it's like, I really don't want to take this fight, but I don't want to have that stain of, oh, look at him, he doesn't take fights. Oh, look, he backs out. Oh, I knew you were scared. You know what I mean? So it's no matter what, you lose if you lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can sit here, and that was the thing. Even with my 1 pound, I'm gonna take accountability regardless of the situation. I signed that contract. I chose to fight. I'm not making any. You're not going to hear anything from me. Now, you ask me later on, you know, behind scenes, I'll be like, yeah, of course, no. Like, I stubbed my toe 6 times this morning. I got poked in my eye. My cat scratched my back. You know, I got 1,000 excuses I can make. But when it comes down to it, it's the accountability factor. Like, I chose to make that walk. I chose to sign that contract. You know what I mean? So, to me, that was Dillashaw just honoring what his obligation. His obligation was to fight Aljamain regardless. Now, you know, we have an outing of, okay, if we get hurt and we're not at our best during a fight, but you can ask any of these fighters. No fighter has ever been 100% in a fight.
Yeah,
and if
that's true.
I told you that, they're a liar. And I mean it. Like, there's no way, like, because just in daily life, like when I'm not in camp, I get hurt so much just doing stupid stuff, like for real, stubbing my toes and like, stuff like that. So there's no way to ever be 100% for a fight. So I believe Dillashaw's shoulder probably was, messed up. Now, what we do in camp is find a way around it. You know what I mean? Now, it sucks if you've been training for 4 weeks in a certain way, then this happens. But in the camp, especially if you're one of those guys that's not gonna, I know I'm not gonna not take this fight, so we got to find a way around it,
Sort of like protect it from to make sure it doesn't take damage before the fight. The thing that worried me was like, oh, it's popped 20 times, and I was like, if it popped once, I'd be like, yes, I can understand it. But the fact is, it popped 20 times. I'm thinking maybe someone should have taken the executive decision, going, your shoulder's getting fixed, then we fight.
Yeah, I think he was putting 100 on 10. If that thing popped 20 times, then he's a goofball for taking, for taking the fight. It's probably like a good
shoulders on 20 times since April. I'm thinking,
really?
There's
no way. Like, not for a championship. I'm sorry. Now,
not for a championship. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's the difference in that one, man. It's like if I'm fighting for a championship, my shoulder has popped 22 times since April. Hey, yo, there's at least 3 more cards or whatever that we can squeeze on. I'm gonna get this checked out and see how long it's gonna take or whatever. At least get it looked at and and like, can I compete off of this at least 80% or something? But man, like that's different, man. That's championship money. He should know that he's been a champ before. That's life-changing money.
That's why I didn't understand. If it was someone that's never fought for the belt, I can sort of understand why he's like, this is my number one shot. I've not got another chance at this. But the fact TJ did it, he's already been 2-time champ. He's got the money. Sometimes the health is more important than trying to go for it. But I've never fought, so I wouldn't know what that responsibility is like. Like, no, I need to fight.
Only thing I could think is like, because at that point he's just fighting for legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a 2-time champ. I guess you wanted that third chocolate chip also, but But man, you better go back and drink some milk before you dip that chip,
man. Absolutely. I know. What do you think? Who's next for Aljamain, do you think? Because I know Triple C was lurking around on Twitter saying
he's always lurking. I love Triple C. I love Henry. He's always somewhere.
For me, it should be him next, because I know Dana said if Sugar Sean beat Jan, then he'd be the number 1 contender. But even Sean was like, I need to rewatch that fight. It sort of says to me that he probably knows that he's probably gotten away with one, and he needs another go at another top contender. And Triple C's been in the testing pool for 6 months, and it makes sense. Former double champ, come back, makes sense. Sometime next year, Triple C's back. He wants to fight 45 and wants to get the 35 pound, then do 45. But that makes sense for me, because the rest of the division still's got to play itself out, because there's no clear number 1 contender in that division.
Especially we got number 13 jumping to number 1. What is going on?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I said, it's a win-win for Sean, but it's a lose-lose for Jan, because if Jan wins, we're going, you should have done that anyway. And then if he loses, you just lost to number 13. And the thing is, Sean O'Malley, he's won no matter what the result was. If he lost by split decision, he's game. He definitely belongs in the top, at the top of the division. And if he wins, it's like, he's going to get a title shot. But for me, he doesn't. He's not going to get a title shot for me. And obviously, we touched on the main event. It's the Makhachev era has begun. Did you see the fight playing out like that? Because I didn't. I thought Oliveira was going to finish him.
Like as soon as that left hook and Bronx did his little rock back to that little turtle shell BJJ
went flat, and then I saw Makhachev just follow him down. I thought, oh no.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no.
I remember Khabib said, if Sambo is easy, it would be called jiu-jitsu.
It's 13 Sambo schools that opened up like literally right after that fight. They're like, oh yeah, we teach Sambo here. Yeah.
Yeah, I might need to learn how to do some Sambo. Yeah,
For
and
real.
obviously after that, dedicates the belt to Khabib's late father, which I think is a great touch. Dedicates it to Khabib as well, and obviously calls out Volkanovski.
Yeah, he was there ready too. I saw a random
Where's
clip
the
of him. He
short
was
guy?
like back in the background just punching. I was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, because he was the backup fighter. Because there was confusion between him and Dariush. Because Dariush was like, "No, I'm the backup fighter," and Volt's gone, "Sorry to break it to you, but I'm the backup fighter.
This is
And
mine."
And now it looks like we're going to get Makhachev versus Volkanovski in Perth.
I heard in Australia, right?
In Australia, which is
nice.
It's going to look bad for Volk because I think Makhachev's going to retain the belt because I think we're going to finally get the run we should have saw from Khabib before he retired. I think we're just going to see him dominate everyone. I just can't see anyone beating him. Just can't see anyone beating him, really. That ground game is the second he follows you to the ground, it's like, yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, like literally like a anaconda, man. Just an anaconda with forearms, damn near. The way he gets down there and just starts working, you're like, please get off me. Like, just come on, man. Just
I don't know how he cuts to 55. Apparently, he walks around at like 190, and I'm thinking like, because we saw Volk escape the choke from Ortega, and I'm like, if Makhachev's got you in that, there's no way you're popping your head out of that. Your head's getting popped off.
Well, you know, Patty cuts from like 200 something.
I know, but I think that's more being unprofessional rather than that's his natural blow up.
Man, he better enjoy it while he's young. I'll tell you that much. Because by the time he is that dirty 30, that metabolism starts slowing down.
He ain't cutting that weight no more.
You're going to be messing around fighting 205 is next one. You're like, yo, wait a minute, what happened to Paddy?
No way. But I think with Paddy, if you want to become a champ, that diet's got to change completely because he's got to be ready to go.
It's going to be tough. That man loves some food, boy. I tell you what, I ain't never in my life. That man is a human black hole. It don't make no sense at all.
Fights, and then like he balloons in weight like a few hours later. It's like, how much are you eating for? Like he's eating when he's leaving the octagon, and then by the time he's in the post match, he's like, "You 200 pounds now?"
For real, I would love to see what he weighs the next day because they weigh us that next day after like we rehydrate and whatnot. I would love to see what he puts on to get back out there.
Is there like a clause of how much that you can rehydrate afterwards, or is there like no?
No, that's what I was worried about. I was like, why are we having to weigh in again? And it's more or less like just a health check type thing. But no, like those 130 guys can come in like 170 if they can put it on, type thing. But
some of the champions walk around weights are like, I think Aljamain's like 160. I'm like, like Islam's 190, Usman's 205. I think Hamzat's 195, and you're like looking at how on earth do you guys cut all this weight? And
it's
still
wild, man. It is wild to see these little dudes. Like you'll see them, we'll say on Thursday at like 185. Here comes Friday. This dude's now walking around 155. And then weigh-ins on that whatever Saturday morning, the dude's like 130. You're like, okay, time out. Where did you put that kid that you had just swallowed, apparently? Because there's no way. You just got rid of a whole fourth grader. What is going on?
And obviously, before we go, Chris, who would you like to fight next? If, let's say, Dana managed to fit you in on that Orlando card, is there anyone that screams to mind for you?
Well, there's talks of we want to see Beast Boy on pay-per-view, and the only person that makes sense fight-wise, numbers-wise, and everything, and I guess most recent fights and whatnot would be like an Andre Arlovski.
He's fighting on the weekend.
Yeah, like that to me makes perfect sense. If you ask me, I think Jake beat him. But like fight-wise, pay-per-view-wise, we'll say. That makes sense. Me fighting Arlovski on the pay-per-view, I think would be phenomenal. Like, great numbers. Like he just fought Jake, he just beat Jake. I just beat Jake. You know what I mean? So I think, that'd be a great pay-per-view side fight, but not pay-per-view. just make sure I'm on that top side. I can be on the first fight of the main prelims or whatever, but throw me out there with anybody, like, you know what I mean. And I'll get the show started. I will get the show
Oh
started.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you will. Oh, Chris, a massive pleasure for joining me today. Everyone that's watched this, make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and make sure that you follow Chris Barnett on Twitter as well.
Yes. Double tap, double click,
double tap that like button. Thanks, Chris.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you.